So you're on the joining direction step and you're getting ready to join all 4 quadrants. I am just using the 1Z pieces just for ease of the video. So we have upper left, upper right, lower right. And so when you sew these together, you're going to have the lower on top of the upper, and you're going to sew the horizontal seam. Same with the right side, you're gonna sew the horizontal seam. And so I'm gonna do that, and then I'll show you how to join them together. Okay, so I'm gonna sew the upper left quadrant with the lower left quadrant, and I'm gonna nest the seams. So at the inner point, I just kind of put them together, and then I rub towards the right. Since they're both pressed towards the dark, the seams will be pressed opposite ways. So I'm going to kind of match up that center point and push until I feel like they're together, and make sure that it's lined up all the way down the edge. And then I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch. When I open this up and press, I really just want to finger press because we don't want too much steam or too much heat from the iron on this. So this will be the upper left and lower left side of the center of the quilt. So as you can see where the points meet, there's a 1/4 inch that's going to be your seam allowance. So once you put the other side up against this one, your nice points will meet in the middle. Same thing with the upper right and lower right. Make my seams nest in the middle. Just kind of push from the left to the right until it's centered. And then I'm going to sew down the edge. 1/4 inch seam. Okay, and I'm going to finger press these open and get ready to join the left with the right. Okay, I have finger pressed the seams very well. And the left is going to be joined to the right. So I'm going to put right sides together, and I'm going to do that same little trick. This time I'm kind of paying attention to where those corners will meet. So this seam and this seam is going to be nested together. So I'm kind of pushing and sliding, and then I'm going to pin carefully. And I'm going to pin both sides of the seam. Now for this, I'm going to start sewing in the center and go down to the end. If this was the whole quilt, I'd be sewing this whole horizontal seam of the quilt, and then I'm going to flip it and start in the center and do the other side. So a 1/4 inch seam all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to flip Start in the center, do the same thing. Okay, so we have our seam all the way down. Let's see how we did. If for some reason these points don't match up, just take that seam out. If you're sewing, obviously you'd be sewing the whole side of the quilt together, so just take out a section and reposition and do it again.